All right, you guys, let's go over quickly the answers to homework 11. So you guys can check yourselves. Suppose 39% of America's students, of Auraria students drive to campus. And suppose we have randomly sampled 100 students and recorded the number that drove to campus. This is a binomial experiment, right? Because they either drove to campus or they did not drive to campus. And the percent is the same each time. So what is a success? A success is that the student drove. A success is the student drove. And a failure would be the student did not drive. We don't know how they got to school. They could have walked, they could have taken the bus, but they did not drive. Okay, N is how many students we sampled. So N is 100, and the probability is 0.39, 39%. Suppose we wanted to know that the probability of 40 or less students drive. How would you use the binomial PDF? It looks like I forgot that last part to answer this. You don't actually have to answer it, just give a short explanation. It wants you to realize that what you are looking for is you have to add up all of the parts of the histogram for whatever this distribution looks like, right? And you need to add up all of the pieces that are 40 or below, okay? I don't know what this looks like yet, but what we can do is we can go we can actually just go into the online calculator so that we can see what it looks like. It's a little bit easier to use. I definitely want to check with your TI calculator, make sure you can use that, because remember, for big tests, they won't let you obviously use a calculator. You're gonna have to use your TI. So let's do it both ways. I like the way the online looks better. It's easier to understand what's happening. So we need to remember our N is 100. These are the only two numbers we need. And our probability is 0.39. Okay, so click on the link. It is in your slides, and we're going to change, our N is still 100, and we're just going to change the probability to be 0.39. Good. So if we want to know 40 or less, we can either highlight the pieces that we would like, or you can change below the curve. If you want everything up until 40, you're going to click on the left-hand side. And X is less than or equal to 40. Okay, and that highlights in the table to the right, that highlights everything up until 40. And what the calculator is doing is it's just adding up all of those probabilities. So the probability is approximately 62.33% for C. Whoops, still in highlight mode here. Approximately, darn it, now I forgot. 62.33%. That those students drove. Find the probability that less than 35 students drove. So let's go back to our table, and it wants less than. It doesn't say equal to, it just says that less than 35 students drove. So here we're going to put, instead of less than or equal to 40, we will do less than or equal to 34. Okay. And approximately 17.84%. E, more than 30 students drove. So we want more than 30. So here on this tool, this time we want to click on the right-sided, and we want X to be greater than or equal to 31. Okay. Greater than or equal to 31, and that is going to be 96.1%. The probability that 50 students drove. So just the probability that 50 students drove. So then we're just going to, oh, here, I'm just going to use the table, and I'm just going to go to 50 on the input, and my output would be, it's going to be 0.0067, which is 0.67%. Very important, not even an entire percent. Between, G is between 40 and 45 students drove. So between 40 and 45 students. So here we're going to click in the middle, and we're going to put 45. Oh, darn it. I forgot the numbers. 40 and 45. So we're actually going to do 40. And then on this side, 45. Okay. And that is approximately 36.41%, or exactly 36.41%. At least 50 drove, so 50 students or more, and it could be equal to 50. So we're going to do the right-hand side, and we'll do 50, 45.62%. At most, 40 students drove. So left hand, that's what we already did. At most 40 students drove is the same as 40 or less. So we did that at C. So that's going to be that 62.33%. Find the probability that 60 students do not drive. Well, that's going to be the same by the complement rule as the probability that 40 students do drive. Okay, the same that 40 students do drive. So we just need to look at 40, which is just 0.0795, so 7.95%. Okay. And at least 40 students drove, so that's going to be 40 or more. So right-hand side, 40, so 45.62%. And find the probability that between 46 and 50 students drove. So, oh, I need to change it to be the middle, 46 and 50. Is going to be 8.23%. Was that what I just said? 8.23%? Yep. Okay. So here's the answer. So let's do a couple of these using the calculator. So let's start off with less than 35 students drove. So we can use our calculator, and we're going to use second, distribute, arrow all the way down. We don't need, oh, we do need to add things up. So we need to use the binomial CDF. The binomial CDF, we have 100 trials. Our probability is 0.39. We are looking for 35. Oh, less than, so 35, sorry, I should have put in 34. Sorry. Because it wasn't gonna be equal to 35. There we go, 17.84. Perfect, exactly what I got before. It's a little bit trickier if we're looking for more than 30 drive. So what we need to do is we need to find the area up until 30. Okay, we need to find the area up until 30, and then we need to subtract that from 100% to get the correct answer using your calculator. Because what the calculator, the binomial CDF, does is it always gives us the area to the left-hand side of our distribution. So if we're looking at 30 students, that's going to be, like, say 30 students are here. When we put that in the calculator, it's going to give us this side of the distribution. It's going to give us this area or this probability. Okay. If we're looking for more than 30, we need to find the other side of this. To find this side, we need to find the complement, subtract it from 1. Okay, so we're looking for more than 30. So I'm going to say 1 minus, and then I should just be able to put 30. You guys can do this. You don't have, I just grab it using the calculator. I go up and paste it back down so I don't have to go through the whole second distribution. But if you prefer to do that, that at least helps you set it up a little bit better. So I'm looking for more than 30. So I'm going to leave 30 there because that's what I want to subtract out. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this gives us the same answer. 96%. Perfect. Same answer. Okay. What about, let's do one more using the calculator, and let's do one that's between. How about this one? Between 46 and 50. So this is a little bit trickier. I need to find the area below, with 45 and below, and I need to subtract that from the area of 50 and below, and that will give me what is in between. Let's see if I can draw what this looks like. So if I'm looking at the distribution, right? So we have our curve or whatever. It's more like a histogram, but it's easier to draw a curve. I have this distribution, and let's say that 46 is here and 50 is here. I can use the calculator only to find the left-hand side, right? So I can use the calculator. If I find the area from 50, that's going to be, let's do that in yellow. That will give me everything here, right? And then if I subtract the area below 40, if I subtract out this green, the yellow that's left should give me the correct area. So I want 46 and I want 50. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a binomial CDF, and I want all of it up to 50, up to and including 50. And I want to subtract, I'm going to grab it again, to 45. Remember, because 46 is included. I need 46 to be included, so I'm going to put 45. And 8.23%. Yep. Perfect. So we did this homework using both the website, Finding the Binomial, which is a lot easier to use, and I'm okay for using that on the test, but you're going to need to be able to explain to me what's happening. But remember, in a lot of different tests, and maybe even if you, when you go back on campus, you might have to use your TI. So please, please, please also do a couple of them using your TI calculator. Arnaldo, you